Hey, welcome back to Match Well Good. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. How y'all doing? This is Thursday, March the 13th, 15th. Thanks for dropping by. Philip, what's up? Dr. Apathy, this is new. It's like the short they would show before old movies. It's a little trailer, right? VK, what's up too? New title card. Andre's picking up his game. I had an evening this week, and I built that because I always had this clumsy beginning, and now we can open with everything running all at once. And that seems really good. How's everyone doing? Way to build this. How's everyone doing? Red Dwarf, what's up in YouTube? Vitatum Venom, hey senpai, how are you doing? Welcome. We got some Netrunner for you tonight. Today is a very exciting week. Oh, it's hot. Thanks, VK. Glad you like it. Smooth intro, David. Thanks. Glad you enjoy it. Also, thanks for dropping by. Graphic looked cool while waiting. Hey, Martini, what's up? Thank you. Glad you all dig that. Apologies, actually. I was meant to record on Wednesday evening. I was meant to record the unboxing for the new data pack because we still haven't done that yet. It's been 2 weeks, and Netrunner DB was down, so we couldn't do it. I had all my tabs open. We couldn't do it, so instead I worked on that graphic because might as well do something. Pogos, what's up, D? Needed some music. Yeah, it's 100% going to get some music. I worked on the graphic on Wednesday, and I thought, like, okay, this is a cool thing to do. However, I don't know what music to put behind it just yet. I gotta look into, like, Creative Commons music or what I could put up that I don't owe someone money for. But I'll look into it, because you're right, that definitely needs some chill music to go with it. Also, Chris, what's up? Easy Mark looking good for all the right reasons. How's it going, Wolfwood? So today is actually a really big week for Netrunner in Canada. Specifically, it's Canadian Nationals this Saturday in Toronto, Ontario. It's going to be a big show out. It's actually going to be super competitive. From what I understood, there's a lot of really competitive players who are coming up, not only from Canada, like we have 6 people from Montreal, people are coming in from, obviously, from Ontario. I don't know if people are coming in from the prairies. A lot of times people come in from the middle of Canada. But also a bunch of Americans are showing up, some big names in the Netrunner scene. I think Dan Dargenio might be showing up. I know Kenny Deacons is showing up. A lot of like really strong players. So we're going to have quite the weekend. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to be live streamed. Normally, VTTV, Victor and Travis in Toronto, they're live streamed events in Toronto. However, this one won't be live streamed. I will be going down and I will be filming it. I won't be able to live stream the stuff because we just don't have a stable internet connection and I don't have any of the wireless stuff. But we will be filming it, and to some extent, it'll be showing up on this channel in the way that it used to back in the day when we used to do like tournament coverage. It'll be cool when that happens. I don't know. It's probably not going to be all the Swiss because it's like 6 rounds of Swiss day 1 and then Top Cut day 2. It's probably only going to be day 2. So watch out for that when it comes out. First Nats Wolfwood. This is actually technically my 3rd Nats. I went to Canadian Nats 2 years ago for the first time. I actually got into the finals. I lost. I was in the winners and finals. I had to win 1 game against Alex Lopera, and I lost both. So I almost won Canadian Nationals. Last year, I only went to do commentary on VTTV. You can find that stuff on YouTube, but I didn't play, unfortunately. Ralph, what's up? You gonna be dropping some hammers on some people? Yeah, let's say that, right? Should be some call games. Yeah, Dave, I'm excited. It's gonna be some really, really top tier Netrunner. I'm really excited to see it, let alone be part of it. There's a person on Stim Slack who's gonna stream it. Sunny. No way. I don't know anything about that, VK. That's really cool. Glad that someone's streaming it to some extent. You should check it out too. Like, they're gonna be really good games. Oh, sweet. I love your commentary. Are you going to have anyone else with you? I'm not. Oh, for the commentary for the games online on this channel, I don't know. Probably won't do it alone because commentary is better with people. I haven't thought about who I'm going to do that with, but I probably won't do that alone. Tobal, what's up? How's it going? 3rd time's the charm. Good luck. Thank you. Filming actual Netrunner is fun. I've been doing that with a lot of my casual games. Like, probably cover next SC. We do something in April. Yeah, covering games is really cool to watch it. I think one of the biggest things I've learned from this channel is that spending so much time watching other people play Netrunner when I was editing and spending so much time watching my own Netrunner when I edit my own clips, it actually made me much better at the game. That's something they tell you to do at basically any craft you want to be good at. One of the best things you can do is film yourself and then watch yourself doing it. And then that's all. Some people don't like seeing themselves on camera. I can see that. I am a bit of a narcissist. It might be obvious. I have this whole channel, right? So I don't mind it, but But it legitimately has done a lot for my play. So Martini, if you're like spending time filming Netrunner, it's going to be pretty good for you in the long run if that's what you want to do. Another news thing this weekend, we had a store championship in Montreal this last weekend. We came in first. We did it again. This is, we went to 3 store champs this season. We took 2 of them. So I'm feeling pretty good in a competitive stance. This week, The reason why I bring this up, not to specifically like to showboat, but if you notice the front page of Netrunner DB is actually the deck that we played last week as the Netrunner DB deck list of the week. It's Timmy Wong's Nero deck. And I don't want to play this one because we played this one last week, so we kind of did its justice. It's a really cool deck. If you haven't checked it out on your computer, it'll probably load with images. But I instead want to take this slot to play the decks that I played during the Store Championship on last Sunday that we won with, because they're interesting decks, and I think they'll actually be kind of fun. Anton, what's up? Bring Benoit back. I would love to. Benoit, I don't see that guy enough. He has stopped playing Netrunner. If you haven't known, Benoit is a guy that I did a lot of commentary with his channel. He was the North American National Champion of Netrunner back in 2014. And above that, just like the nicest dude, he owns a board game pub and stores in Montreal called Randolph. If you're ever in the city, I highly recommend you checking it out. But he doesn't play much Netrunner, so I don't even know if the commentary from Benoit would be that good anymore, because I don't even think he knows the card pool. John, what's up? What's your Canada secret tech? We're going to try a lot of decks. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm bringing to Canadian National. That's kind of an issue. Last time they filmed me, I got so nervous my opponent kept having to remind me what click I was on. Hey, Chris, that's actually a real thing. A lot of people do that, where I actually ask on camera, like, hey, if you want to be on camera, if you don't, it's not a big deal. You can move to a different table, we'll film something else. Because some people do get the shakes on camera. That's totally normal. I noticed a bunch of misplays on where I was kind of going wrong. It's like the best thing you can do is watch yourself fuck up. And if you've been watching this channel, we fuck up all the time, and it's cool to have chat to tell me when I'm fucking up too, because again, the only way to get better is by admitting you're doing wrong, and I don't think we do that enough on this channel. A lot of times I think I'm right. Anyways, let's jump into some Netrunner, so we're not just talking all the time, man. Let's talk about a deck that I brought to the Store Championship, and it actually did really well. This is called Replicated Offer. It's a name apparently. I did not consider this. Nutritional Zero also, what's up? So what I wanted to do here is a fun little combination. I'm pretty down into the idea of Piranha Foods being pretty good right now. A lot of people in my meta are playing a lot of Anarch, and Anarch are playing their breakers that are actually not very good at breaking big ice. Things like Black Orchestra, MK Ultra, Paperclip. It's mostly the first two, Black Orchestra and MK Ultra. They are not good at dealing with big, high-strength ice. So like a Black Orchestra, if it wants to break all of a DNA tracker, it's like, what, 9 credits? That's a lot of money when you're playing a deck that has a lot of ice. So that was a good starting point. A lot of people are also playing Max, so getting value from Piranha Foods is really easy, and having a lot of money and having good ice is good. This is also right at the point in time where I believe people were playing a lot of the idea of Imp Friday chip, that scary combo, was starting to formulate in people's minds. So I was looking to play a deck that could actually put big ice in front of servers and keep people out, so that they couldn't access every turn and they couldn't get their Imp Friday chip value. So this is kind of where we went, and we went for the bigger range of ice and block things up. Also, what's up, Jamie? 9 for DNA Tracker, 9 for Anansi. That's the idea, right? Now, I also saw this card, which is a card I don't particularly like, and we haven't talked about this one yet, because it's in this data pack, right? Question mark? Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong. Maybe this is in the pack before. This card's actually kind of weird, because it looks different than what it is. This card, you trash it to make the runner reapproach a same piece of ice they broke. And that's not re-encounter, it's reapproach, so they can jack out. Which makes this card, which is a 3 of in this deck, and 100% should not be, into a card that kind of slows you down and makes it more of an economic choice, because they can always jack out. But then, the idea was, there's this card here called an offer you can't refuse. With an offer you can't refuse, you can't jack out. So the strategy here is a deck with mostly 3-pointers. It's a question whether this Flawed Entanglement should be in this deck. I'm not entirely sold on it. But if you're only running 3-pointers, you can score 2 3-pointers, and to get your last point, I opened up that by accident. To get your last point, if you strap a bunch of code replicators on a central server and then say an offer you can't refuse, you can make a piece of ice, you can make a server, excuse me, that is lethal. Literally lethal. It's not that difficult. You wait till they have not a lot of money. At some point they are down to 8 credits, and then you can make them go through a DNA tracker 2 or 3 times and then follow that into a Kamainu. Kamainu is also really good with Code Replicator because its subs continue to grow and grow. And sometimes they can't make it through. You don't want to put an end around on server, but a lot of times they just die because they have a Kamainu. They have to break 15 Kamainu subroutines and they can't do that. And it can be really scary. I like it a lot. We're also running Marcus Batty because it's good. We're also trying some weird, spicy mid-range ice. Fairchild 2.0 is generally 5 credits to get through. It's not bad. It's probably not good enough. Ichi 1.0 is fun. And then Jua is actually really mean against a lot of Anarchs because they can't install their heat breakers. And that's where we are. But this is largely what it is. It's basically a pretty honest Glacier Paulina with an NGO front. I've got a lot of feedback that this deck should probably be running Gene Splicer as well. Gene Splicer is honestly probably a bit more safe than an Offer You Can't Refuse, but an Offer You Can't Refuse is more fun. And that's an important thing about Netrunner. It doesn't always have to be the best deck. Sometimes it's just your deck, right? But this is probably should just be Gene Splicer, and we can drop these code replicators. We also probably want to put an on-seas in here and other ice. I don't know why I don't have any, but I never also rezzed this. This is a crazy too expensive ice. I don't know what this is doing in it. Just Chris, go full jank with Helheim. You honestly could. You could throw out your whole hand to Helheim into an Offer You Can't Refuse. But I think it's relatively easy to get a server that an Offer You Can't Refuse is already pretty deadly in. But that's the idea. It's an RA deck. We're going to try that out. On the other side, the deck might actually be more interesting that I played on the runner side. And you've seen this deck a lot of times on this channel. We've been playing it on and off for months, seeing how it changes. And this is what we call Tyler Durden. And Tyler Durden is a self-damage Anarch deck. It runs Clan Vengeance, and then you can trash HQ over and over again. It's pretty good. It has some cool matchups. It's not terrible against Cerebral Imaging, which is actually like a really big deal. It might be a bit slow. When you're playing against things like Controlling the Message, anything that's really tag-based, you generally can't contest too many of their assets. So it's going to come to a point where you go tag me, and you go tag me exactly at the point where you can trash all of HQ so they can't punish you. And it's actually like a really fun matchup. I think this deck only dropped one game all day, and then because people are playing Jinteki and people are playing a lot of damage decks, this is actually really easy to get value from. I also played against somebody in Swiss who's playing Builder of Nations, and some of the best clicks each turn was just run to Ice Wall, end the run, take a damage, and it's pretty miserable for them. But this deck's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna leave this up to chat. Chat, do you want to see some Paul in the Glacier, or do you want to see some Alice hurt herself? Please let me know, and we'll say that's the deck list of the week, and we'll start from there. John Newfield is saying in YouTube, Anansi plus DNA plus Chiashi broke even part Paulina, which is probably why it's not there. I think Anansi and DNA are really easy to put in that deck. That deck makes boatloads of money, especially with NGO. But Chiashi is probably way too much money. It's probably way too much. Also, Ed, what's up? Hi, Andre. It's 1 a.m. here. Catch up tomorrow, but thanks for going through the deck build. Have a good night. Hey, enjoy your evening, and hopefully you have a good day tomorrow. So what are we doing on chat? We got one Paulina in Dartstar, what's up? And Ryan, what's up? We got 3 Alice in YouTube and 1 Paul. And on Twitch, we're looking at 2 Pauls. Some Friday chips and Alice would be dumb. We don't get a lot of value in Friday chip, though, because, Ralph, we don't have anything to transfer them to. We're not running any viruses. We're actually pretty split down the middle here. Paulina, Paulina, Paulina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. All right, chat, I'm calling it. We got a bit of delay here, but it looks like Paulina is eking it out by a slim margin. We're going to make some changes to this deck, though, because it's definitely not perfect. So we're going to do that really quick. We're going to do that. If you want to see some of this Alice deck, it's been on the channel before, for what it's worth. There's not only been on streams, but it's actually had its own matchups. I forget what it's called, but if you just search Alice on the YouTube channel, you'll find decks like that. Also, shout out Cody. Encoder played this Tyler Durden deck like months ago at a store championship and came in second. So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's a fine deck, I guess. That's anecdotal evidence. That proves everything. So what changes do we want to make? Well, basically we don't need 3 of these. It's way too much. I kind of want another Chrysium in here because this deck is like super weak to indexing, and indexing is incredibly popular right now. Now, it's kind of cool against indexing because we only have 7 agendas, but the problem with indexing is they can technically win turn 1, a lot of runners. Because if they do indexing, find an agenda, and then mad dash the other agenda, mind you, this agenda is a bit harder to steal with mad dash, they can win. So indexing is an issue. Hey, Cody, what's in chat? Thanks for the shout out. Glad you like the deck too, huh? So we want to put one of those in, which means we have too much influence. So I think we can take one of these out. I think the Chiashi comes out for sure. Now notice this deck specifically doesn't have a lot of end the run ice, and you don't want end the runs on the servers that you offer you can't refuse, because then the runner can just end the run. But you need that for a remote for sure. Now I don't know what else to put in here. We have one left. I think actually putting in a Satyr adaptive barrier is probably not the worst. And I think we probably want to put an Anansi in here because I don't know how good that card is yet, and we want to test it. I think we have too many sentries. NGO is definitely in. NGO is so good. This card's nuts. I install Advanced this. People install Advanced this on first turn, and runners don't run it because it'd be too dumb to beat anything else. You can score agendas naked. It's hilarious. It's really funny. Yeah, Zero Console will make it OP, Cody. Zero Console is insane. Also, say what? Loop is 2 influence. How's it going, dude? It is 2 influence. I didn't go in on that one. It's an end to run that puts 2 cards back, which has some value, but basically all my opponents that I played at the Store Championship were running Film Critic. It's still a pretty good tax for 2 cards, and that's definitely true. It's also really cool against Max, because she generally trashes those 2 cards. But we could try that. Maybe we drop one Ichi for a Satyr. Or drop a Jua. Jua's cool against Anarchs. I like Jua a lot. Let's drop an Ichi. It's good with Batty, actually, but not that good against Anarchs. Nah, we'll keep an Ichi. Can we get a Jew in here? I don't know if we can. I think this is fine. This is probably acceptable, right? I don't think that Code Replicator is that good, but do you? Code Replicator is not great. But we just kind of want to show this off as the offer you can't refuse Code Replicator, which is really fun, but it's not the best. This is definitely not a tier 1 card if you're trying to build a tier 1 deck. If you're trying to build a tier 1 deck, take this out. There's no way this is good enough. It just doesn't do enough for the card slot. Swap Philotic for TFP. I would actually rather swap Philotic for, So that's the thing. Okay, so check this out. This is what I'm kind of conflicted about this deck. Import the Twins. The Twins is basically just like a slightly better but harder to fire version of that card we just talked about. Ah, shit, it's not loading. So, crap. Okay, we're going to open this in Chrome because this is being obnoxious. So I'd rather, instead of running TFP, I'd be rather running, if you ask me, the other one, the bacterial reprogramming. It just sets your game up so much faster, and I like that a lot. But the issue with the Philotic is the Philotic is good in some cases, it's bad in a lot of cases. The problem with Philotic is it actually doesn't help you win the game. In any game that you score Philotic, you still have to score 2 more agendas unless somehow you can fire both of your offers you can't refuse, which isn't impossible, but is kind of unlikely. The other option is obviously to replace Philotic with another 3-pointer, putting 21 agendas in a deck. It really doesn't change the agenda density. Generally, runners still need 3 agendas, but that one's harder to score because a lot of times with these many upgrades, you can install a Philotic naked in a remote and people won't run it. So half the games were won with Philotic, and then the other half of games I still have to score 3 agendas. So I don't know if the Philotic is actually good enough. You also generally don't get a lethal with Philotic considering you only have, if they have 2, they're never going to have 3 agendas, right? I'm telling you, Genetics Pavilion, slots, and I don't want to put an empty remote, a naked remote. It's not the win con itself, but Batty's more of the win con. Yeah. I never tried to build tier 1 anything. I've been working on my tournaments for the Philly Cherry tournament. What are you working on? Say it. Let's give this a shot, though. Yeah, the agenda thing is the one thing that I'm really confused about. I don't know what to be doing with it. I gotta move my microphone. It's kind of getting too much in the way. Let me know if this goofed it up. Is the audio still good? Yeah, I think it should be all right. What did I call this something like a terrible name? Replicated offer. That's so bad. Why did we do this? Alright, also if you're just tuning in, how's it going? My name's Andre. Thanks for dropping by. This is Match Ball Grid. And we got to prepare for Canadian Nationals, so we're going to be playing some competitive Netrunner tonight. Also, I think JNet had some issues this evening. It went down, but it looks like we're good. 28 people playing. Let's give this a shot. Happy Thursday. What's up? Maui, we're going to be not building that much. We're going to be playing a lot of just like tier 1 decks. Why did we do this, Andre? Like, we streamed to talk to you. What's up, man? But wait, there's more. The Woo Sis actually good. The Foundry's just goofy, but I'll rob some gains. Twin Foundry is, I think, the first deck I played in Star Champs. Won't let me load deck. Ah, shit. Alright. Give me 1 second. I think we're going to wait for Jamie. Jamie wants to test out. I know what deck he's playing, which is kind of unfair, but he knows what deck I'm playing, so we're even. He's playing Gabe. Yeah, he is. Best of luck. Not Twin, say it? Oh, you're missing out. What about Labyrinthine Servers? Executable, what's up, man? Or, how you doing? Thanks for dropping by. Executable, why not Labyrinthine Servers? It just doesn't do enough. Not being able to jack out is kind of really cool, but generally people... It's cool with that card that we said shouldn't be in the deck, right? So we're playing against Gabe. His hand has a lot of money, but we just want to put 1 piece of ice on HQ, and then Gabe kind of shits himself. So I'm going to mulligan this. That's good enough. That's a really... Oh, we have a crazy amount of HQ. He is in a rough spot. We also have scarcity, and Gabe is probably running 1 or 2 corporate grants. I'd rather... We could actually just celebrity gift and slam this onto HQ. It's pretty good. None of these cards really they can play around, and once we get this on HQ, he's in a bad spot. He can run click through this and then lose 2 credits, so he gains 2 credits back or take a brain damage. This is actually a really good mulligan. Let's go ahead and show him the whole hand, because none of these are really cards that you play around. He'll know what ice is on HQ, which is the worst part of information we're giving him. And this is, mind you, the first deck that I like that has Celebrity Gift in it. RV Can't Refuse deck with baddies and Code Replicator. This is what this is. Titanium Helheim. Oh, that's super mean. That's a real mean one, say it. I guess, yeah, twins with Titanium isn't particularly good, so... You don't want to end the run. Yeah, Wrath, that was an insane mulligan. That was really, really good. So, we know we have the scarcity. We have money. We have Chrysium. This is exactly what you want against Criminal. He's going for the res here. Now, this is still good tempo. It's probably 2 clicks and a brain damage, something like that. So, his value on Gabe doesn't really do anything. Right? This is... I don't think you run this at all. Like, you didn't get anything. You know he's not going to access agenda. Can't trash any of this stuff. And still on 5. Oh, shut it down. That's okay. We have the hedge fund. I think that's worse on his tempo than ours. So we could go play the scarcity. We have 3 scarcity. Scarcity is really good. Shutdown running, you know his list? Yeah, he does. We talk about decks on the internet. And I know this list. I think it's 3 shutdown, 2 same old thing. That's like the worst card we have to play around. But we kind of can just sit here. We want to put this on HQ probably. It would have stopped the shutdown. We can just kind of get money. Playing scarcity is relatively cool. He probably runs about 12 resources. He only runs, I think, he runs Corporate Grant for sure. What's the chance that he has it? The thing is, like, his econ's going to be really stalled out. What does he play here that we don't want? Earthrise Hotel goes down to 1, that's fine. He draws these fine. Daily Cast, that's fine. I think we can just take money and play slow. Talking about decks on the internet, I don't have any of that. Yeah. Oh, Film Critic. Okay, that's fine. It's like the worst. We have 1 card to deal with this. We do have our friend, the Horsehead? What's it called? Oh, that sucks. We're definitely going to go pay 5 here. That's really bad. He still has to steal 2 more agendas, and there's only 6 in the deck. As soon as he takes us off this, he's weak to Horsehead. And hopefully we can put this off. Okay, now that we have 2, we can just go ahead and play this. I guess we can draw once. It's really no threat. Well, that's really good too on HQ. Worst case, we lose that. This is a 7 credit res. Voter Intimidation, that's the one. That's Horsehead. Wrath. And say it, calling me out there. So that's half his turn. 3 points up, that's the best. That's the best top deck. It's kind of unlikely with 7 and 42. It's not particularly good odds. We could just lose here off top decks. Oh, we're good. We just need 1 ice here and 1 ice on Archives. And then I don't think his deck has enough economy to deal with this. This is a pretty bad ice to put on R&D. The only is a tag that's reasonable. We don't want to spend 5 credits on that. Mirage is relatively good. That lets us sort our hand out. It's good against indexing. There's almost no way Gabe's on indexing, right? Like, we're probably running 3 of these. That's 6. Probably 2 of these. That's 8. If runner breaks the subroutine here and you're now running on Archives, yeah, we can go ahead and fire this. So draw a card. Yeah, and now we can shuffle something back. We definitely don't need the preemptive right now. And now we have a better ice to put outside of R&D, and that's really good. That reminds me, your stream last week inspired me to add Corporate Grant to my Trash Hawk X while doing work, my man. Yeah, Shaper. Shaper does Corporate Grant really well for all the influence. You install on every turn. I think that's like a really good include if you have the influence. And Trash Hawk XL, mind you, is so much fun. Alright, we got a credit from Paula now. We're up 2 credits, which is really good. We got a good piece of ice to put on there. We have the Jew on Archives, which is not particularly good on Archives. It's actually not particularly good against them unless they're poking. We could put it on an HQ. It stops Inside Job, which has some value. So I think we can just put this on HQ. It doesn't have much value anywhere else. The thing that I'm expecting is that they're going to run, they definitely have copies. Oh, that's fine. They definitely have copies of, okay, now the Ichi's good. They definitely are running 1 or 2 copies of, excuse me. Yeah, watch the sneak door, we will. Of, what am I trying to say here? Maxwell James, so we can kind of shut that down. So the thing is, we don't want to overextend here. If we play this, we're going to lose a credit next turn almost, well, not almost for sure, because they need to click for credits and install things. And what can they install for 3 credits? So I don't think we need to even play this. We can play this on Archives, click for credits. We just got to make sure we have enough money to keep him out. So we probably want to keep around 9, which we'll definitely have. Yeah, Ichi's pretty good anti-sneak door ice. And there you go. So we got through the turn. This card didn't do anything but turn this off, and we have an econ option. We can install advanced advances if we want. This is weak to Sneak Door, but again, this sort of deck, like this is a tempo deck, this is a snowball deck. As long as we sit back and just keep them out of servers, and again, with a very low agenda density, the chance of us flooding is relatively low. We're in a pretty good spot. The thing, again, we're the weakest to is emergency shutdown, so we're just going to play against around that and make sure we can always keep out the bad pub. Data Sucker coming out. We don't have any virus hate, but that's good. Our essentials are pretty good. It's not easy to get through this. This is hard to get through, and this server sucks as well. Kakugo on a remote. That's an end to run. We kind of want that. One to get through isn't too bad. It really isn't. But we can put this on a new remote. Credit. Next turn we can do install, advance this. Ideally, they inside job it, and we're fine. I don't think they're playing interdiction if they're playing corporate grant. And Hernando's coming out, so we're going to have to play a bit more credits. This is actually now a 7 cost ice, which is kind of obnoxious. But this is weak to drive-by and interdiction, but I don't expect any of those. Can't build turtles. You can purge a lot. Yep. Code replicator on archives. Yeah, I guess you just run it through it. So there's the inside job. We could choose to res this, but there's really not a lot of a reason to. Against Leela, you definitely res this, but right now, this is totally fine. And then we're just going to do action before access. And this is what you want to bait this out. You never score behind 1 ice. And we'll take our 21 credits and they're back down to 0. So who's controlling whose economy? It looks like we're controlling theirs. And we're getting more pollen on money. We can just build the Anansi server. We're going to have to res everything, which is really expensive. And this, if it gets de-res, that's 11 credit swing. So we don't actually have this money. Hernando's doing a lot here. Now we can just set up for the remote and just click for credits. And again, I don't think this will be a fast game. A baddie on HQ. We don't have an end to run subroutine, so we can't stop. Looks like we're going in here. I think we'll definitely res this for the 8 credits. Hernando is not. Oh, that's the wrong way. It's not implemented. It's not automatic, so we're over 10. Best Anansi breaker is Maxwell James. It definitely is. Putting big ice on the remote is probably wrong. We want cheap ice on the remote. So here we can probably just give it the good old purge. At 4, you can start to contest HQ. We just want to give that a purge again. We're in no rush. We have a good play next turn. Hernando's a good meta call right now. So that's what Jamie's been saying. It's okay for 1 influence in criminal for sure. I just don't know how much it does. The problem is, I think the rest. Like, there's just not enough backing it up in criminal. Like, it's definitely really good. So they're going for the dirty laundry here, and look how much of their turn they're spending, right? Like, we just put a Marcus Baddie on archives, and then they're in a really bad spot. If they're going to let us trace them, that's so easy. Oh, wow. So they spend their whole turn to get 3 credits and 2 counters. So we just Baddie that, credit, IPO, and we're in an okay spot. And we got to start thinking of scoring soon. And if we trash this turtle, I don't think they have another. C, Code Replicator. Code Replicator, they can just jack out, though. I don't think it does enough. The issue with this server is they can get through it with the turtle, so we definitely have to go for the purge. We have a play next turn, credit, play IPO, so we can just take it really slow here. Real Neil, what's up? We changed the order of the plus-minus adjustment buttons based on feedback from a professional UI designer. Is that why I'm goofing it up? Oh yeah, that's different. That is goofing me up. That's cool though. Did a draft game the other day, only rotated or banned cards, got really hectic, good fun. Draft is super underrated in this format. Oh, Criticism Grid on archives is actually really good. Also dumps cards out of her hand, which is alright. Hide in the box, how's it going? I'd like to see Film Critic go, even if it means giving up Obacrata just to be banned, my wish list. I would love to put Film Critic, I wish Film Critic was a one-shot use. There's so many cooler ways to make Film Critic a thing. Oh, this is on the table. I didn't realize that. When did that happen? Oh, it just happened. Oh, okay. Well, let's score an agenda, I guess. So if they steal this agenda, they're on game point, which kind of sucks. They have same old thing inside job, which means we have to res this for 8, 9, 10, 11, this for 4, 5. Then they have to have 5 cards. So we can set this up and then go for the score next turn. I think that's reasonable. We can also put this in there. They might run HQ, and we can't end the run, so I don't think we want to dump every card out of our hand. I think a single baddie is probably good enough. Yo, System Outage, how's it going? You give up a lot of power to make agendas less intense. I would give up... I don't know. The fact that there's just so little counterplay. Special order coming in. Find the truth, reveal mining accident. Oh, we see what they draw, right? Oh, totally cool. So it looks like we're about to score here. We are flooding up. Ideally, we want to score the SSL first. This is going to largely come down. If they do same old thing inside job on the server, they have to break the Kakugo, which they can't. We know it's unlikely. If they install their barrier breaker and then do same old thing Kakugo, they can't steal this. So I think we're going to go for this one. This one seems safe. There's a ton of counterplay, just not the turn they use it. I don't think there's a lot of counterplay. The counterplay is the sort of cards that just like specifically hunt other ones. So special order's gonna come out. That's for an eater. So it looks like they're gonna go get R&D to get their break this hopefully for free to get security testing. Luckily we do have the punish here with the Fairchild for the 7. It still has enough credits to res this remote, so I'm gonna go for it. This is a taxing piece of ice. In fact, oh yeah, they're not making money on this anymore. This is a good server. I'm hoping this new box has a replacement for FC and Claude. Based on what we've seen to design a Katara, I think you're probably not wrong about that. They can let this fire this. Or they can break it for 1. It looks like they're going to let us fire it. That's actually pretty good, so we can get some of these agendas out of hand. We have enough agendas to win, but it's not hard for us to get a winning play off of an offer you can't refuse against this sort of deck. Draw 1 card. Philotic. That's a pretty easy score. Which card's best? I don't want the Philotic. We want to score this one next because it gives us money. I think our server is just safe. I don't even know if we need the Obokata. We could have scored the better 5-3. I'm super offended by Hunter Seeker Scorp, so I'm fine to deal with that card. Scorp is way worse the game than FC. Yeah, I think that's true. We'll definitely pay 5. You don't want to give them bad pub. I wish this was the other agenda because we'd have a lot of money. So even though we're going to few credits here, we do have the Critium Grid, which is kind of the biggest deal, because they can't use Eater and trash it. It's going to be very hard for them to do that. And next turns, we can just click for a lot of credits. If they break us with Eater, they can't access. Apparently, Amakua doesn't get tokens with Eater, which is a pretty reasonable anti-synergy. It's safer in HQ, that's true, but they're not going to be running R&D either ways. And like, we only have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 3 agendas and 24 cards, so I'll take my chances there. They have an Abagnale, they have a Saker. That's actually a really big deal because those are bypass breakers. Or at least Abagnale is, not Saker. So the server isn't particularly that safe. Ah, fuck. What's the chance of that? Okay. Amakua is supposed to get tokens on Eater runs. It's not automated. I don't think it does because you access 0 cards and then you don't X. Do you think they run if you installed Entanglement and got money? No, they wouldn't. We could definitely score this out, but I don't want to. So they could break this. Ah, fuck. That's gonna get me. I'm hoping that they break this with Eater because it's a pretty bad effect, so now they can't access. Four, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we can still res this. They can't access. They could play, the worst case scenario is that they play their last mining accident. And we're just going to be clicking for a lot of credits. So they can't access. They don't get any value from this. They can't get security testing. Like, they're in a really bad spot. While we did spend a lot of credits on that for sure, and our scoring remote is like pretty far from being functional, we're in an okay place. Yo, Jim, what's up? For some reason, Eater siphons the thing. Amakua gets counter on empty archives. That might be true. So we're going to get punished here for sure. We do have the double baddie, which they can trash. So this is the only bad thing about going really poor, is that we do lose our remote. Now, losing both baddies kind of does suck. We have 1 card to shuffle, but they're going to go down to 0. I guess I could not trash and get Amakua counters. I'm just going to encourage us to purge. Accessing 0 is still accessing, right? Oh, so they should get counters. That's kind of a big deal. That's a good end to run ice for the remote. So we want to take 4 credits. They're down to 0, so as long as we have money. I think Amakua should have counters. Because you reach an access step. You just see 0. That's what chat is saying. Seems pretty good. I think Code Replicator is the roughest card in our hand. So this should have 2 counters. So we're going to click and purge. Turtle Power. So we can click for 3, purge next turn. I think we don't want the Code Replicator for sure. Also protects archives, which is pretty good. So money is the issue because our remote is relatively expensive. And how much more money do we have in our deck? An NGO front would be a really good draw. Should be a 1. I think 2. Cause Crisium still counts. Mario, what's up? It's the same when you eat into archives and flip face down cards. That's totally different. That has to do with archives itself. With that, when you make a successful run, even if you don't access, you flip cards face up. It's technically different, but that's a good thing to know. So purging is actually kind of a big deal because they could, in theory, trash this Crisium. It's going to be a while away from that happening, though. So I think we can purge in 1 or 2 turns. Say it. You sound like Barry talking to other Barry. Getting accesses and seeing 0 is not the same as not accessing. Yeah. So they have very little economy. Notice also they have no card draw cards in their deck. Oh, what a top deck. That's a brilliant top deck. So as soon as we click for 2 credits, we do turn Hernando on, which only bothers this 1 ice here. I'll take it. It's a good card. You know this whole thing is moot if you all just check out Amaku and Enter to be since rulings are there. Yeah, John, in Twitch chat, someone's already posted that ruling. Eater on Archives run that doesn't access cards, doesn't flip cards. You flip as part of the access step. You just gotta pick the 0 cards. Yes. Yeah. So you access the successful run, you access, so you flip the cards over, but you don't see any. If you want some cool rules about Archives running, check up, look at the UFAC associated with the genetics resequencing, or whatever it's called. Bacterial reprogramming, excuse me. Boom roasted. System managers. Yo, honey, T, what's up? How's it going? So if I sec this, Amaku would go to 3. Oh, no. 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 Oh, shit. So yeah, you shouldn't. Because of sec testing. Right? Because you skip the access phase. I think we all forgot about that. Chat, are we wrong about that? I think you're at 0. You sec test. Oh, maybe 1. Yeah, yeah. You take money instead of... Yes, yeah. HQ technically didn't let if I... Okay, cool. Kayak Ninja also, what's up? Hydroponus. Okay, cool. So we're back at it. Because the access step was replaced, they didn't access. As opposed to if they did just run HQ with Eater for no reason or R&D for no reason, and when there was no sec testing there, they would be accessing 0 cards, which considers accessing, so Amaku is fine. But replacement effects, because they actually replaces the whole access step, they're not accessing. So we're still playing around the Sneak Door. We have a pretty good answer to that. They don't even have MU. I think they're running 3 copies of Maui, which is a console they'll never be able to install this game. Because they install Maui and their Sneak Door, it's 9 credits. No, you should have 1. Biggest barrier to entry, I fear, are all those niche rules. They don't come up that much executable, and if you're ever at an event, or if you're anywhere, basically just ask someone who's been playing the game or for a while, if you haven't been. Well, not everybody knows those rules, actually. That's kind of a stupid thing to say. But if you search the UFACs up, it's really good. The UFACs have all that stuff. Okay, so what's good here? So this gets through code gates. It can get through this for how much? 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 3 in clicks. It's actually pretty good. So we could go ahead and ice the HQ up. I think that's not unreasonable. It's pretty obvious that they want to go there. This we actually only res for 5 credits. It does nothing with Hernando Cortez because it gains a subroutine on the counter, not when you res it. And I kind of like the sound of that. And that's kind of the easiest way to punish Gabe. We're going to need something for archives soon enough, but I think Batty into Trash Eater or Amakua with a Marcus might be game winning. New players don't care about being tournament accurate from the start. I wish the revised core had a list of community resources like the Red Slack and UFAC. It's hard for them to endorse that stuff for sure, though. Ask your judge. Yeah, if you yell judge, that's another good way to do it. Just yell judge. Oh, that's a perfect draw. So I think we can just set this up in the remote. And the next turn we can go ahead and go jam the SSL. Either way, it'll be good for us. We just got to make sure we have a modicum of credits for this and this and this and this and this. So they're really locked out. They haven't been interacting with us for the last, like, 10 turns. We haven't been paying enough attention to what they're drawing, but they just drew a pheromones, which again gets almost no value. The amount of credits that they need, because they're running no credit generation cards on their own. They're expecting to play RNG key, security testing, eater pheromones, and somehow snowball the win. And I can see how that could happen, but it's not going to happen all the time. And actually, we did voter intimidation here, so we could just try and get rid of the film critic. I think that's worth it, because if they film critic steal this, we get no money. So let's just go for a side game. Even if they spend 2, it puts them further back than us. Ah, okay. They got it. A link to the UFAC. Yeah, it's weird because the UFAC is like, it's working together with Michael Boggs, but it's not an official document. I just care about the critic. Yeah, I've been pretty bad at side games actually. I haven't been spending a lot of time thinking about them. I find them to be a little zealous. What Poglos? The UFACs? So Maxwell James is in hand. They're installing that. So the thing is, like, I don't think there's a lot of point installing Maxwell James because they have to run HQ twice before to use it. We have an end the run barrier, which is kind of cute. They needed a data sucker counter to get through that, so they could run this, get a data sucker counter, run that, and we actually can't keep them out because we don't have a Marcus Batty. We kind of want this to be res. We still have to play around same old thing inside job. I think this actually on server 1 is the best, but we need to keep this on the inside. I think there's no way we install the Nancy or res the Nancy. It costs way too much. It's way too big of a liability. Well, this is only 4 credits. So I think we're going to go ahead and put this on server 1. And we don't want to install another card here because we could actually go ahead and install the Philotic. But it makes our HQ only agendas, which is pretty bad. 410 pun game. I learned Netrunner just a friend and I playing over and over. There are too many times we ask each other, how do you think this interaction works? We could logically figure out. I don't think Netrunner is actually that unreasonable when it comes to its logic. Like, its logic is generally sound. So they're running here. These don't stack. I don't know if they know that. So I don't know why they're doing this. Because they're spending 5. They're spending a lot of money. I don't know why. They're not getting an Amakua. I guess they're getting a data sucker. We'll draw one. Oh, an offer you can't refuse. We needed that. So we'll bury. I guess we actually bury the Philotic here. No, there's a chance that we can win off this and double offer. Huh. What do we do? What do we want? Install advance. Advance is probably our play next turn. No, we want to ice this up first. I don't think we need 2 of these. This is fine. It makes the agenda density here, but they're not going to be accessing. They should only get 2 credits here. They shouldn't get 4 or 5. Yeah, 4. So seems like, yeah, a really bad loss of tempo. They spent a lot of money just to get 2 credits and a data sucker. I guess they see what the top card of R&D is, so they can run again. But then if the Mirage fires, it turns it all off. I don't know what's happening here. That's cheaper. It saves them 2 credits. That's cute. But we have to shuffle here. Oh, it doesn't even matter. How good is our hand? Pretty good. Oh, perfect. We can try and win off of that with the code replicator. But we put the code replicator here, so we can't actually get the code replicator Kamainu, which would be so much fun. Like, we're setting up for a Lether code replicator here. Oh, shit. Can we actually just, like, goof them? Could we goof them into the Ichi? Yeah, we can goof him next turn. We can do offer, and then score this. I guess I'll actually put the SSL back. That seems like... Yeah, let's see how bad this is. They're going to have 4 credits. Maybe we're wrong. Oh, that shouldn't have happened. Should that have happened? Should that have happened? Okay. Oh, because this only happens once, first time. Okay. This is okay. So we want to put this on R&D. We want to put this on server 1. Oh, they only have 2 credits. So, like, what we could do in here, in theory, is that we could offer you can't refuse them into this Kamainu. They would need to pay 5 credits to get through all of it, and they can't, so they take 3 damage. Or they give us an agenda point, which is more likely they just give us the agenda point. We don't really want to do that now because we want to play this after we score because we kind of need a lot of credits to score. So I think we put this on R&D because it's the most taxing ice. And then next turn we can put this on here. And we can put a card in the server. I'm okay with this. This is risky because we don't have a lot of credits, but we don't have to do anything with this card. Clones are not people is definitely another option. Waiting for the Sunny Caprice Detective spin-off show. It's coming. It's coming. Let's see how bad this is. We were right about 85% of the time, but one mistake that stuck too long is you can go negative on agenda points. Yeah, you can. Can't go negative. You can go... You can't exactly go negative on hand size, but... Pheromone's getting thrown out. So we could score this. That makes this the win condition. I want this to be our win condition because it's so much more fun. I'm okay scoring this. And we actually heard a shutdown, which is a pretty good hit. So, make sure they spend a lot of money. Do you lose a negative 7 points? No, you don't. It used to be if the Corp got like 7 bad pub, they lost the game. In old Netrunner. It was either 7 or 9. It was some really big number. And I think there were cards on the runner side that just gave the Corp bad pub for an absurd amount of credits. But it's a cool win condition. It's like, your company sucks so much, everyone hates you. Alright, they're going for it. We'll res this for 5. It's a bad boy. And once this is rezzed, we have like legitimate offer you can't refuse lethals. Eventually. And depending on how deep they go on the server. I'm hoping they go deep.